Hello and welcome back. My name's Faye and I run Faye World Photography and Faye World Education, and this is my space to share things that come up in like one-to-one mentoring and generally as I'm working as a wedding photographer and educator that I think could help you too in your business. Today's a really good one. We're going to be talking about how to be a good second shooter. This is something that I get asked all the time. I have just released a second shooter guide, which is really good. I've been literally working on it, when I say almost a year, as in it was one of the first products that I developed when I launched Faye World Education last year. I digress, let's crack on. I think the reason why it's taken me so long to bring out this video is because I know that every single wedding photographer is so different, and by extension how they run their shit and how they manage teams is also going to be very different from business to business. That being said, I just feel like there's some core things that just across the board everybody could do to be incredible, and that's what I'm going to share today. So yeah, let's dive in. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is understanding your role as a second shooter, and what I mean by this is it's not your wedding and it is not for your portfolio. Yes, you are there for your portfolio. Like, we're not heroes, we're not just doing it. Maybe some of us in the beginning were like second shooting to learn how a wedding works or because we love a photographer, but the main reason that people second shoot is for portfolio. And whilst that's completely fine, you just need to remember that that's not why you're there. It's why you're there for you, but it's not why you're there. The reason why people get second shooters is to enhance the gallery. But also, like in my instance, I book second shooters because I want the vibe of the day to be relaxed. When I'm looking for second shooters, I'm looking for people that can problem solve, make my life easier, enhance the gallery with their own epic images, and also fill gaps in my knowledge or my expertise. That's what I'm looking for. So yes, whilst you might be there for images for your portfolio, there's so many other reasons why that main photographer has hired you. And essentially, you're a work for hire associate. You are there to make the life of the main photographer easy with whatever their priorities are. So number one, understanding your role is just remembering that you are there for the photographer above you. And if you forget yourself and you are thinking about yourself in any circumstance on the day when you're there, they're probably not going to work with you again. So let's say you have been hired as a work for hire associate, you're going to be a second shooter of the day, and your main photographer has sent you a contract which outlines how they work, all the main things, all that jazz. Read the contract. You would not believe how many times somebody has turned up in trainers, where it's in my contract about the dress and the gear and everything, and somebody turns up wearing white at a wedding, I just can't even, or trainers. And just to me at this point, it's just unacceptable. Like, if I've taken the time to send you a contract, read the contract. It will take you 5 minutes. My contract is not long. Read the contract. And I just think it's getting off to the worst possible start, because if you've gone to a wedding and you're second shooting, that main photographer is instantly, like, if they've realised within the first minutes that you've not read the contract, they're like, brilliant, this is going to be a complete waste of time. There's no trust there. And everybody really needs to be singing from the same hymn. So read the contract, understand your role, remember that you're there for the main photographer, and then read the contract, because the contract will specify what their non-negotiables are for you to be good at your job on the day. So you've understood your role, you've read the contract, but you still might have some follow-up questions to be able to be the best second shooter possible. So here are some questions that you might ask the main shooter to help you do your job. Things like, what kit would you like me on? Would you like me to shoot analog? What analog stock should I prepare? Or are you going to provide the analog and send it off for me? Because everybody's got different rules when it comes to shooting analog. What is the would you like me to shoot? What are the couple like? If they asked for anything specific that I might be able to help you with? All of these are questions that are going to help you impress the main photographer, because the main photographer is going to feel like you're really invested in helping them have the best possible time with the couple. And that's really, really cool. Whatever stage you're at in your business, whether you're new or more experienced, you've probably got a way that you naturally shoot portraits anyway. So it might be worth asking for an example gallery for you to look at what they want from you. We're very visual creatures as photographers, so seeing an example of a good second shoot gallery, maybe it's one that they've done themselves for someone else, or maybe it's one that somebody's done, or maybe they just want to send you a full gallery so you can see the types of images that make it to their final galleries, and then you've got that for yourself, so you know, and you'll be able to tell so much from that full gallery, like if they're more traditional, if they're more creative, what sort of images pop up throughout, how much landscape they shoot, how much portrait they shoot. I really just would recommend asking them to send you a full gallery. You'll learn so much from that. And also it might help you because you're learning what you like about their full gallery, what you don't like from their full gallery. Not that you're going to give them feedback, that would be totally inappropriate, but it's just more information for you to sink your teeth into that's going to help you when you come to doing your own galleries. So come the day, you're going to want to know well in advance what time they want you there, whether you're having a meeting before or whether you just want to jump on a quick call to make sure that you understand what's going on. Are you going to meet in the morning to sync camera times to make sure that your camera and the main photographer's cameras are on at the same time? If the main photographer is giving you memory cards, you can also do that before the wedding. If what happens quite a lot in the beginning, you're at one place and they're at, you can use a website called www.timeanddate.co.uk, I think it is, where basically you can see the UK time in real time and you can both use that to sync up and then just agree what you're going to do with memory cards. It might be that you post them, it might be that you back up using a hard drive, whatever it is, but organise that before the day because there's nothing worse than being stood in a car park at 10 o'clock at night, freezing, wanting to go home, and you're trying to have these conversations then. So figure out how the images are going to get from you to the second shooter, how you're going to sync up, and then also communicate how much you're going to be communicating. God, that was weird to say it twice. Are you going to be in touch all through the day? Do they want you to be totally self-sufficient? How much should you be checking in? Wedding venues typically aren't in the best area signal-wise, so it could be that once you lose touch, you're not getting back in touch again until you physically are together. So just make sure you know how much you should be aiming to check in, and just contingency, if you can't get in touch, like what do they want you to do? And just ask that question, because then if for whatever reason you do lose contact, they're not going to be annoyed because you've already hashed this out before the day. The next thing is to be discreet and to be professional, and that will look different to every photographer. So ask them how hands-on they want you to be. Do they want you to be chatting to the guests and the couple conversationally, or do they want you more as a fly on the wall out of the way because they want to adopt that role? So every photographer will have a different vibe that they want. And to be honest, what I ask of my second shooter will be totally different. A lot of my couples do want somebody there that's really informal, have a bit of a laugh with you, take some photos, be that guest with a camera. Other of my clients, they don't want even me to talk to them. They just want to crack on, be fully in the day. They don't want to be off taking photos. The main photographer will know the couple a lot better than you do. So ask the main photographer what the vibe is, how chatty you should be, like how discreet you should be, and let them determine your approach. Definitely do not go steamrolling in with the same personality. And this also extends to direction. Like, does the main photographer want you to go to couples portraits? Are they happy for you to direct? You definitely want to have that conversation before the day, rather than turning up, doing what you do best, getting the couples into all these great poses, and then afterwards the main photographer being really pissed off because they feel undermined. So that's definitely a conversation to have before the day. In terms of preparation, I mentioned earlier about kit and asking the main photographer what kit they would like, but there's no stopping you being extra prepared and just having extra stuff with you just in case. Things like memory cards, batteries, battery chargers is a big one. I feel like I'm always, or not so much now because I tend to work with the same people again and again, but quite often in the beginning when I was trying out different second shooters, if they were asking me for leads and things, it just put a bit of a bad taste in my mouth because I just think this is not, you should be doing this for me. It shouldn't be the other way around. If I'm doing like jobs to help you with your kit, like it's not a problem, it's fine, but like it doesn't make as good of an impression. Let me give you an example of two different types of photographers. Photographer one turns up, they're there for you, they're checking in all day, they're like, can I get you anything? They're bringing you water, they're offering to hold your cameras, like when they can see that you're struggling, they're putting everything on charge for you without you even having to ask. And then you've got photographer two who is just quite happy to be there, lovely, hardworking, but keeps themselves to himself, doesn't really communicate with you throughout the day, is asking you for things like leads, phone charges. Like, think about which one you would prefer working with and then try and incorporate more of those behaviours that you would like for you into your second shooting approach. I spoke about this a bit more in another video, which I'm going to link below, but don't be talking about yourself. I get it, because sometimes I'll be working a venue, second shooting for one of my friends, and it's a venue that I know really well. I know the staff, I know the team, so naturally they ask me a lot of questions about me. How's my little boy? What's going on? In that moment, you can answer like really subtly, like, oh my God, yeah, so good. And then get yourself out of that situation and get back to work. Like, you're not there to talk about your life, you're there to second shoot. When I see second shooters talking to people, a little bit here and there, absolutely fine. Like, we're normal, it's a social job, like, you're not a freak, you can talk to people. If it's somebody talking or moaning, oh my God, we're there at a wedding, we're there for the couples. If you are doing anything, like if your behaviour is distracting to the situation, or let's say if the couple walked in and you were acting like this, would it be appropriate? And if it's not, you don't even want to be doing that behind closed doors. Like, if you need 5 minutes, take yourself, but you definitely shouldn't be doing anything that you wouldn't do in front of the couple, even on your break. Just try to be a bit more aware of your surroundings and what's going on, and definitely just try to show up with a work persona, ready to go, and yeah, just doing your best work. Now, a lot of that stuff is not actually about the shooting. It's just about making the main photographer's life as easy as possible. And I guess that's the most transferable thing of everything that I'm saying. As long as you're asking them what they want and they're responding, you're going to do a great job, because that extends also to the shots. They're going to tell you what they want you to focus on. They're going to tell you what sort of shots they like. And they might even review your content, especially if it's the first time that they've worked with you, throughout the day, just to make sure that they're happy with the beautiful work that you're creating. In terms of shooting, there's some non-negotiable things that everybody can do regardless of the guidance that you've had. It's basically looking at what the main photographer is doing and then doing something different. Like, if they're shooting on a 35, maybe prioritise your 85 if you're shooting on two bodies. If they are getting photos of the couple from one angle, don't be stood next to them getting exactly the same thing. Communicate with them, suggest things, or say, what can I do right now to help? Ask open-ended questions if you're lost for suggestions on what you could do, but just keep checking in with the main photographer. If they're not there, then you get to, take initiative and do your own thing, and maybe eventually they will say, just do what you think. But again, in that moment, you can be looking at the main photographer and thinking, they're on a 35, they're getting the hero shot, I'm going to get something. I did another video, which I'll link below, all about contracts and what I include as a main photographer in my contract. And one of the things was about sharing. I don't let second shooters share anything that's not made it to the main gallery. At the start of this video, I was talking about how you might be there for you, but you need to remember that you're actually for the client gallery. Not only is shooting more dynamic content going to be better for the gallery, but it's also going to mean that hopefully the main photographer picks more of your gorgeous work to share, and you've got more stuff to share long after the day. You're hopefully aiming for the gallery to be 50-50, 50% the other photographer's images and 50% yours, because all day you're covering totally different stuff, and the main photographer is absolutely overcome with joy and like emotion, because you've just got it, you've done everything, you were everywhere they weren't, you got everything they missed, and the couple get to enjoy a comprehensive, lovely gallery. They've loved working with you because you've listened to them, you've checked in, you've come prepared, dressed to the nines, ready to go, you've been discreet, you've been respectful, and ultimately you've responded to everything that they've asked. That's how to be a good second shooter. If you've enjoyed this, definitely check out the second shooter guide below. It's covering things from two angles: main shoot perspective, second shoot perspective. There's loads of goodies in there, like contract template, and yeah, just loads of stuff that I think is going to be helpful for you working with teams for wedding photography. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe and head to my YouTube to check out loads of other free resources that might help you wherever you're at in your wedding photography journey. Thank you so